here I am in San Sebastian. This has been heralded by so many people, chefs included, from around the world, as one of the best foodie cities in the world. It boasts more Michelin stars per capita than any other city in the world, except for one. Can you guess it? Put it in the comments. Don't cheat. I'll give you a couple of seconds. So the only other city that has more Michelin stars per capita is Kyoto in Japan. If you got it right, hit the like button, that's your reward. If you got it wrong, hit the like button, that's your punishment. So I've come down here just for 3 days. I'm literally going to just eat as much as I can in a very short window of time. I've always wanted to come here, and it's an absolute dream of mine to be here. And honestly, it is stunning. The drive from Bilbao over to San Sebastian was unlike anything I've ever seen in Spain before. Obviously, we are in the Basque country of Spain. They have their own language here as well. And the cuisine is noticeably different. I don't want to say it's completely different, but it's noticeably different. Home to some amazing dishes that many people now know and love, like the Basque cheesecake, which is going viral again all over the world, for people pouring chocolate on it, for people making it with matcha. No. Basque cheesecake is Basque cheesecake. It's plain, leave it alone. If you're lucky, you might have some, I think it's called pashan, which is like a slow berry liqueur that they pour over the top. Doesn't need chocolate, doesn't need matcha, doesn't need to have anything other than the ingredients that are in the original Basque cheesecake. We will be visiting that at some point today as well. I am looking forward to go to the original pintxo invented bar. So there was a bar called Casavales in the 40s that created the first pintxo, but they weren't called pintxos until about the 60s, I believe. But the first pintxo was called Gilda. Now, it was made before it was named, but it was named after Rita Hayworth's character in the movie of the same name, Gilda, because apparently she was a little salty and a little spicy. And I believe they had a film festival here where the film was shown. Again, the history of the food here is unbelievable. The history of the people, the history of the language, the history of just everything here is amazing. And I mean, you can see all around me, just, it's absolutely stunning. Got a nice little plateau set up here for me to film. But yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to eat loads of pintxos. I'm going to show you around. I'm actually really nervous about this one. This is the first time where I've been filming, going into multiple restaurants, as opposed to, you guys know, my videos tend to be out in open in market spaces and stalls, so there's a lot more space. Not sure how this is going to go. I'm going to do my best to film, but I don't want to be disrespectful to the people. I don't want to get in people's way. So I'm going to try and film discreetly. I've got my microphone set up on the side of my head here to try that out. Last time I had it here in Bangkok, my little sweaty fat neck was muffling the sound, so hopefully this is a bit clearer for you guys here. But yeah, I'm just so excited. I have watched so many hours of YouTube. Mark Wiens, No Reservations with Anthony Bourdain, James Nioli from Spain Revealed. I have watched so many hours of videos on San Sebastian to try and get the most out of this trip while I'm here to eat. So come with me and we will see just how many we can eat. I might even leave a little counter in the bottom corner here of how many pintxos we get through today. So yeah, let's get it. So just over my shoulder here is Casavales, founded in 1942, home of the original pintxo. I'm going to go and try and refrain from having too many, but we're going to have a couple. Let's go. So I am here at Casavales. No stop on a pintxo stall would be complete without coming to the original pintxo bar. So this was founded in 1942, and they are famous for creating the Gilda. Basically, green olives, pickled chilies, and anchovies. Now the idea is, with this, it has to be eaten in one bite. It's 11:30, so I'm having a cider, which you pour from a height to aerate because they like the bubbles. So I went for a full bottle, and it's 6%. It's a little sparkly. It's a little like a kind of old school English cider. A little smoky. But this is what I've come here for. So there's what? There's like 5 chilies on here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this all in one. Bear with me. That is honestly the perfect bite. It's briny. It's sharp. They're not spicy peppers. They're just all married together so well. I had so many of these when I was in Spain last year. I fell in love with it. And I absolutely adore them. And this is the original place. So I got 2. Best breakfast ever. Cheers. So what an incredible first bar that is. Honestly, where the Gilda was invented and reasonably priced. A bottle of cider, 2 pintxo was €8. So having just taken a little walk past the cathedral, I will put a video of the cathedral in. Next up is Bar Goriti. This is somewhere that Mark Wiens came to and is very much like a breakfast place, they say. And they do breakfast sandwiches. So huevos jamón, like ham and eggs. It's right next to the market. So we're going to go into the fresh produce market after this to have a look around. Look at that is packed full of eggs. Yeah, really delicious. Nothing crazy fancy. Just really good produce. The one I'm a little nervous for, and I'm not normally nervous about much things, is this. So this is, with my rough translation, is the snout of the veal. Little light beefy flavour. Kind of almost like a pate flavour. It's a little springy. Like soft cartilage. Very tasty. A little briny. They put pickled onions and stuff on that. It really helps cut through because it is quite fatty. I am ridiculously delicious. It's worth trying. We have 1 small beer, $2.50. 2 bar top pintxos, $5.40. It's €7.90 for all of these tapas, or pintxo, sorry. The egg holds together so well. And with a little bit of that ham on, unbelievably good. It is like a breakfast of champions. I'm going to put a little bit of my snout into my ham on and eggs. Thing is, everyone will speak to you in English. But if you show a tiny bit of knowledge of Spanish, like I can order a beer, or I know what egg and ham is, I'll speak to you in Spanish, and it's so difficult to try and understand. I just nod along and get what I'm given, and I'm always very, very happy. I'm going to finish this breakfast up. I'm going to head into the market. Also, tell me your thoughts on these. This is a napkin, which is basically a little bit of greaseproof paper. It's supposedly very good for soaking up fat. It still feels greasy. So we've just come down now to the underground market. And basically this is an amazing fresh produce market. Similar to what you would have seen in previous videos. If you haven't seen the videos, go check them out. But look at the displays of the fish and the freshness. You can see in the eyes, everything is incredibly fresh. Unbelievable produce. Such an amazing display of the fish here. Literally a charcuterie lover's dream. Look at all the ham. I do love these markets. There's a place here with 104 types of olive oil. A stall dedicated to the famous bacalao salt cod. Such an amazing product. It's definitely a smaller market, like that's pretty much it. So we'll be jumping out and heading to some more pintxo now. But always amazing to come and check them out. Like if you've got an Airbnb, you want to do some cooking, or even if you just want to get some cheese and ham and breads for a balcony of a hotel, they're amazing to come down and see. They're all reasonably priced. The guys in the markets are always really, really friendly. And the produce is just incredibly good. Like I'm leaving, but I don't want to leave. But I'm leaving because I want more food. So next up behind me, over here, is Tamboril. Now I've been told they're famous for their mushrooms and their fried prawns. So I'm gonna go and see. I'm gonna go get another little bit. I might have a Coke, because I might have a vermouth, although I'm getting a bit tipsy and it's only midday. So we'll see.
No, da igual. Suena eso.
So next up is Tamboril. Now they're famous for mushrooms. So I ordered a portion of the mushrooms. They come from the kitchen as a hot pintxo. I ordered some of their preserved tuna and a glass of rioja. Never been a massive red wine drinker, but I do like a Rioja. Thick piece of preserved tuna, oil, onions, a little bit of green chili. Something about a cold piece of preserved tuna is really refreshing. High quality olive oil. Unbelievable tasty. A little bread for the plate. That's when I say plate. And then you get all that olive oil on your fork. And you pick it up. Stop you dribbling on yourself. Something so simple as tuna, done well, is incredible. And that red wine is so sweet. It's so delicious. So next up is their mushrooms. Now, this is supposedly what they're famous for, and it comes in a proper load of liquid, of broth, and they've been stewed as opposed to grilled. Oh god. That is so much flavour in those mushrooms. But by not being griddled, by being poached, they've kept a lot of their size. Garlicky, little white wine. And the best bit, a big piece of crusted bread that's soaking up all that juice. I don't want to say gravy, but there's more flavour in that than a normal gravy would have. And it's such a mushroomy flavour, that is unbelievable. Actually pairs quite well with the tuna as well. Fabulous. So I've just finished in Tambodil. Mushrooms, tuna, big glass of Rioja, and it was less than €8. Now, to put that into context, that's about £7-ish. Now in London, you won't be able to get a glass of Rioja for much less than that, to be fair, let alone 2 dishes of food that were incredible as well. But the thing is here, there's nothing fancy. I don't want to saying there's nothing fancy is doing it an injustice. Not that there's nothing fancy, it's just the ingredients are so high quality and the care is taken with that that's all you need to have really good food. And yeah, it's just knowing your region, knowing your ingredients, knowing your seasonality, knowing your preservation, like how to preserve things, which is a big thing here as well. And you end up with some incredible food. So yeah, on to the next one. I've got maybe a couple more spots for lunch, and then I'm going to try and get some B-roll, and then since I'm in Spain, probably have a siesta, charge all my phones up, ready to come back again this evening for round 2 that could end a bit messier probably. But yeah, let's see where we're going next.
I'm 99%
The next stop is Gambarias.
Yes, or before we dine. Whatever comes first.
Having a Coke,
You never
chill
know.
out.
I never know.
I've ordered a couple of hot pintxos. I've ordered a lamb bruschetta and a grilled sirloin. Now they're famous here for their skewers. So of course I've gone for a skewer. I've also gone for a gilder because they look delicious. Actually, presentation-wise, a lot better. And the bread is massive. There's more anchovy on that one. Has a much bigger impact of flavour. That is the OG for a reason. Unbelievably good. Get a little buzzer. And just let me know when the others are ready. And the Hilda's amazing.
Oh, this was the first thing on the menu. Okay.
Finished at Gambarias. I had the grilled sirloin and the lamb skewer, and honestly, they were amazing. I got a little clip of it, but I don't actually have anything of me eating them. There was an American couple that joined me at the table because there was no space, so I let them sort of join my table, and we got chatting, and I ate the food and then realized that I hadn't filmed any of it, but it was truly, truly, truly amazing. And obviously, if you are watching this video and it was you, hello again. It was lovely to share a table with you for the afternoon, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of your trip. But yeah, so we chatted about a few places in and around sort of San Sebastian, there on to Madrid after, and it was just nice to sort of sit and have a chat. So there's be a little voiceover of it, but I didn't get to video it, I'm afraid. So on to the next one. So having finished up in Gambarias, I've now just stopped at Loco Polo or Polo Loco, depending on which way you read the sign. And I'm going to stop because they do loads of ice lollies. So I'm going to have an ice lolly and head back for a siesta. So, Pogo Loco just had a blackberry-filled yogurt ice lolly, and they dip it in chocolate of your choice. That is so delicious. Like yogurt. Has a little sourness to it. And the chocolate, because the ice lollies are so cold, sets instantly. It makes a nice crunch. I haven't got to the blackberry yet though. I got down to the blackberry. It was very minimal. Kind of like just a little spoon of it in the yogurt. That's what you need after a lot of rich, fatty, vinegary foods. There's an ice lolly. Good evening from the old town in San Sebastian, where we are going for some more pintxos. I'm starving, let's get it. The idea today is to hit the spots that were too full at lunch or that weren't open. There is about, I want to say, 5 or 6, maybe 7 or 8 of them. And we're going to see how many we can get into one evening. So first stop is La Vina. Now La Vina is famous for their Basque cheesecake, but what a lot of people don't know is they have these little canutillos, or like tips or something. I'm not sure on the pronunciation, but canutillos. And basically, it is a little, looks like almost a spring roll kind of wrapper, rolled up into a cone, filled with anchovy and cream cheese. Now, I was really excited for this one. And it is exactly that. Whipped cream cheese, salty anchovy, crispy cone. Quick and easy. I thought I'd get into Lavina before I got too busy. I'm going to probably end the cheesecake there later on tonight. But I wanted to get this one out of the way early. So the first dish here is a specialty of theirs. I hope you can hear me okay, it's quite loud in here. But this is, as you can see, it's like a spaghetti bolognese, except there's no spaghetti. It's all made from calamari. I don't know how calamari can have so much flavor. That is exceptionally good. Little seafood flavor. Loads of garlic. Little bolognese from the tentacles. A chacoli. This is a much more like high-end pintxo bar. A bit more of a restaurant as well. But what they do is still affordable. That is bloody unbelievable. I don't know what I was expecting when I ordered this, but it's blown my mind. That could be my dish of the day so far. That is outstanding, although it doesn't beat a Gilda. So next up is the oxtail tacos, pickled onions, coriander, and some guacamole. I'm not a big avocado fan, but taco feels amazing. That oxtail is decadently rich. It's already fatty and creamy. And then you add in the guacamole. And that is as indulgent as it gets. 2 outstanding dishes, and the squid wins every day of the week. So that was, I can't remember the name, I'll put the name here. It was like Japetcha, I think. So they're famous for anchovies, and I mean they have a whole pintxos menu just of anchovies. The ones that I had were anchovy tops, like salted, marinated anchovies topped with a trout roe. I had a marinated anchovies topped with a king crab cream sauce. I had just plain salted anchovies and a marinated anchovy with a forest fruits. The forest fruits ones were actually amazing. It almost counterbalanced completely the anchovy. You couldn't taste it. Really sweet, really salty. Salted anchovies, again, not too salted. I'm not sure how they salt or marinate their anchovies, but it's a family recipe that's been going for 180 years. And it is divine because they're not as harsh as you get in the supermarket. It's a much more natural process and perhaps maybe slightly less marinated because they know they're selling them quicker. They were unbelievable. So, sorry I didn't get a video of it. There has been more points where it's just been so busy and I'm holding the camera myself. I just haven't physically been able to eat and hold and film for you guys. So I have got little videos of each of the dishes and I put a little voiceover for you so you can see them. But I'm now going back to La Vina where we started. I'm going to get some cheesecake, probably to take home. I'll eat it at home and you'll see me there.
We were in the soul.
This is the end. It has like a caramelized almost like a molasses smell to it. So this is the Basque cheesecake from La Vina. This is a cheesecake that's being done all over the world by so many places now. I saw someone saying they flew all the way to Turkey to have a Basque cheesecake in Turkey because they poured chocolate on it. But this is the one. Shut the front door. I've made a few of these. So I thought. I've not made this. Fuck. Oh, having eaten all evening and all day, that has knocked me for 6. It's rich, but it's not overly sweet. It's creamy. You get a little smokiness, a little char from the outside of that cheesecake. The texture is so soft. It's almost like a mousse. That is unbelievably good. I can't even. The food in San Sebastian has been 10 out of 10. I haven't had a single dish that I've not liked. Now, there have been dishes that people might find plain, or I don't want to say plain, and I don't want to say missing seasoning, but what they have here is an abundance of amazing ingredients, and they let them shine. And sometimes they don't add salt or pepper to something. Something just tastes like, if you get a mushroom, it just tastes like a really good mushroom, maybe with a little bit of garlic or herbs. It doesn't need the salt. The ingredients are good enough without it. So just be prepared when you come here for that. Don't go and try and pile everything on with salt because we just put sodium into everything. Enjoy the food for the freshness that it is. There are some that will knock you out with flavor, and there's others that will just taste so clean and so delicious that you'll wonder if you've ever had that type of vegetable or meat before until you've tasted it. And yeah, I mean, my takeaways from it, I think I've been quite lucky getting here early June because I don't feel all the tourists have arrived. Saying that, I still had trouble getting into a few places. There's a few places, unfortunately, that I'm leaving here having not been to, and I'm disappointed. But I was here for such a short time, I couldn't justify standing in a queue for an hour and a half to get a table and then maybe not get into other places as well. So I had to skip that. So I would recommend, if you are coming and there are places that you have to eat and you are here for a period of time, just be prepared to queue. I've been informed the queues go down quite quick. I wasn't willing to risk it, and I was very happy with where I went. There are not too many, from what I could see, there's not too many like tourist trap places that charge you an arm and a leg. I know there had been something a few years ago where there was reports that tourists were being charged different prices to locals. There was an investigation. If you ask any of the locals, they're not happy about that. They want people to come here and enjoy the food, and it should cost us the same amount as it costs them. I'm sure there'll be a few people that would disagree, because I know tourism has caused some aggro to people. I mean, it has 2 to 2.5 million people visit here every year, and the San Sebastian only has a population of like 185,000. So as you can imagine, it's quite a big thing. I know it generates an income. I know it helps the economy. Don't get me wrong. I know all of that. I do feel though that it's at the busiest time. I can only imagine what it's like now is pleasant with a few disappointments. But love San Sebastian. It's small enough to walk around. I walked like 22,000 steps today, and I pretty much saw all of the city in the central area, not the outskirts. But one day, and I saw a lot of it, I would say 3-4 days, and you can see pretty much all of it and eat everywhere that you want to eat. Again, super privileged to be able to do this for a hobby. Love the fact that you guys interact with me. Love the fact that you guys watch the videos. Good evening, guys. I am down by the river in Bilbao with the La Ribera market right behind me. I'm going first to Taverna Basaras, and then we're going into the old town, which is just to the left of me here, to the right of you, to go to the old town for a pintxo crawl. There's about 7 or 8 on my list that I want to get all of them into. Basaras opens at 7. It is literally 3 minutes to 7 now. I'm going to try and be the first one in the door, get a table outside. It's a nice little, quiet little walkway in the old town, and it should be delightful to start with a nice vermouth and get cracking. So let's go. Luckily, I'm the first person in the bar. I asked the guy if it's okay to film in the corner out the way. He said yes. I've just ordered a vermouth, I've ordered some anchovies, and I have ordered some tuna as well. All fish again. I'll tell you what, after filming for 3 days and having eaten just pintxos, my energy levels are a lot higher. The food here is just so much cleaner. It's a lot fresher. There's less processed foods and like additives and shit like that in it. And I feel a load better. Even though I've been drinking alcohol all the time, I feel a load better. I can't wait to taste this. So literally within 2 minutes of coming in, it's packed in behind me now. Going for a vermouth cocktail. Delicious again. So they're known here for their anchovies with a little spicy piece of chili pepper across the top. And I also went for another one of the tuna dishes. These conserved tuna, delicious. Look at that tuna. topped with some mixed peppers, a little sweet. It was so good. And the first slice of the bread as well. Delicious. I think vinegary goes so well with the vinegary. Unbelievable. I'm really looking forward to this one. This is delicious, rich, salty, a little bit spicy. Perfection. So next stop was chili poker. Went for a mussel, still in the shell, filled with bechamel. And then they kind of let that bechamel go cold, and then they bread it and deep fry the whole mussel. Very thick bechamel. I'm always amazed at how they can make a bechamel so thick and not taste floury. And they kind of blended up the mussel into that bechamel. It's like a croquette filling, basically. Very clean. A little seafood. Really delicious. I love the fact that they have breaded the whole mussel shell. Cider, dry, smoky. Hope you can hear me okay. I got the microphone up here, so who knows. And I went with a gilda with a bocadino, right? So like a marinated anchovy as opposed to a salted anchovy. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the gilda. It is a perfect bite of food. Even though there's 2 olives on that, it's quite easy to get in the mouth. Nice little stop. So just finished up bar number 2. A little disappointed they didn't have the rabas. They only have them on certain days. So I missed it. But as you saw, I had the stuffed mussel with bechamel. So that was basically like pureed mussel in the bechamel, refilled into the shell, and a gilda because I love gildas. So the next stop is Mortiques or Mortiques. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Mortiques sounds more like the right pronunciation. Apparently these are famous for their mushrooms. I'm gonna zip down there. And the joy is, same with San Sebastian. Their old town tends to be where all the food is, and they're small places. Like it's a small area to walk around. So I think all of the bars that I'm going to tonight are within. This is probably the longest walk I've got, which is 2-3 minutes. So we're gonna hit that one up, get the mushrooms. I'll see you in there. So we are now in Mortiques. And you can see here, there's a load of stickers. So I'm gonna try and get my sticker on there. Start with a gilda. So we start with a gilda, what they're famous for is mushrooms. Just on the grill, on a bit of bread. But apparently they're supposed to be amazing. But I don't know how many of these I had. I will put a countdown if I make this video. And remember, I don't think it matters how much you eat. If you put a Gilda in your mouth, your whole taste buds can't help to be alive. Outstanding. I'm looking forward to this mushroom. It is still red hot. I'm going to burn myself doing this. There's some kind of seasoning on there I can't place. Maybe a little white wine, garlic, paprika, definitely some salt. Wow, that is full of flavour considering it's a mushroom. Wow. I can't put my finger on why that is just so good. But that is so good. I don't know what's making it so good. It's confusing.
No, ya no. El domingo por la noche, el domingo por la noche, bueno, me levanté por
The seasoning on that is seriously something special. Unbelievably good. As far as the third stop goes, that's pretty good. Third stop, third different alcoholic drink, one at Chicoli, which is like a lightly sparkling white wine, local to the region. The Basque Country have all the good stuff. Rioja, Jacoli, cider, Pachan. Oh, to die for. So that is salt cod. So I just finished up at, I'm going to say, Bakaiko, and unfortunately it was a little uncomfortable. There was a guy staring at me. They didn't look overly happy, so I didn't film. I did a little bit for the dishes, but I didn't film my reaction eating. However, what I will say is the bacalhau croqueta was out of this world. It was so good. Words can't even. So guys, I'm going to end the video there. Not a permanent end. Not a permanent end. However, dropping the camera back, it's just that. So there is probably less pintxo bars here and more drinking bars with pintxo. I've noticed there's a bit more of an actual drinking culture as opposed to a pintxo culture, and it's not massive, but there's a lot more bars that are catering for that. So I'm gonna go dump the bags, probably grab myself a couple of beers and some pintxo. Morning guys, my final day in Bilbao. This is CWT&x. I've been told that they do an amazing battered fried shrimp. So we're gonna go in and see what we can get. So unfortunately, CWT&x have no prawns. However, I did get a Gilda, as you could probably guess. Exceptional olives. This is turning into Gilda tour. Let me know in the comments if you think I should come back and just eat a Gilda at every single place and give them a rating. I got some finito again, but I love the fact that they're putting this into an old, not an old, but like an actual tuna tin. Okay guys, that is the most moist tuna we've had. Normally they're really quite dry. There's a little smokiness in there as well. I don't know what's so special about that one. Honestly, this is the best pintxo I've had here. They're outstandingly good. There's so much flavour, and that tuna isn't dry at all. A10 for presentation, A10, A1, A1 for execution. Jesus, that's a good piece of tuna. Stop one, long may they continue. So after how good that tuna was, I went to order some more. They have a list of their hot pintxo. They don't start the hot pintxo till 1:30, and it's a bit earlier than that. So what they do have on the bar is soup de queso, so like cheese soup. But it's made with insatiable, which is a local cheese to the Basque Country. It's really nice. It's super creamy. Then it comes with a little quail egg inside. That quail egg is still ready. Oh, this is decadent. You wouldn't want a much bigger bowl, but then you'd be able to eat it. That is creamy, rich, a little cheesy. Lovely consistency as well, super smooth. A little garnish of pea shoots, chive, a little flour, like an edible. We're going to finish all of this on camera. That's delicious. Sorry, I didn't realize I was getting closer to the camera as I was eating that. Unbelievably good though. I do recommend when you come to a local country or a local region, try the local specialties, like the insatiable cheese, like their sidra, because you'll not be disappointed, because who knows better to cook their produce than the people where it's coming from. Outstanding. So Gora Tuki, honestly, possibly some of the best pintxo that I've had in Bilbao. It's up there and wouldn't be out of place in San Sebastian. I do think there's a marked difference between what I've had here and what I've had in San Sebastian. Now I could be in completely the wrong place, but I could also just maybe there's a difference in quality, who knows. Well, this is what I'm doing now is I'm going around the corner to Bar Fermin, and these were closed yesterday, but apparently you have to come here for the Gilda. That's what we're going for, trying to make sure I don't walk into oncoming traffic as I do this. But yeah, so Bar Fermin for the Gilda is where we're going next.
¿Han llegado 6 meses? ¿Sí? Bueno. No, dale.
Just finished off with Bar Fermin. Was told to go there for the Gilda, and it wasn't a disappointment. There's something about a Gilda. It's the idea of having to put it all in your mouth in one go as well, and you got olive oil dripping down your chin, and it's just like it's such an umami flavor, so sort of briny, salty, acidic from the vinegar. A little bit of bread, and then a wine or cider or beer to kind of wash it away a little bit. It's like perfection. And I will say the bacalhau pintxo that I had, it was kind of like bacalhau, roasted peppers, cheese, and a little bit of like fried onions. It was very, very good. And I will say as well, they responded very well to a few words of Basque. So for any of you that don't know, obviously the Basque region in northern Spain is sort of dual lingo, so they speak Spanish and they speak Basque. And I found a lot more people, I don't want to say are friendlier, but they certainly respond positively to a few words of Basque. So like the only words that I know in Basque is literally kaixo, which is hello, a hard one, which is eskerrik asko, which is thank you, and then agur, which is goodbye. Literally walking in and saying hello, and then saying thank you and goodbye. Everybody sort of really like they respond positively, and yeah, it's just always nice to understand where you are and who you're speaking to. So very positive. And yeah, I've now skipped the other pintxo bars because I want to hit the market today as well. So we're heading there now, I think. It's very hard to get turned around in these streets because they literally all look the same. But I think we're going in the right direction. So we're going to hit the market up, have a look around the wet market area, and then there's a few pintxos bars in there as well. So we're going to finish our lunch up there. And yeah, that might be the end of the trip, because I've got a few hours to kill before I go to the airport. However, I'm probably just going to plonk myself down in a cafe. Might even have a look and see if there's a cinema. But yeah, we'll see. But once we get to the market, I'll see you there. So we are now outside La Ribera market. This measures in at 110,000 square meters and is the biggest, from what I can gather, having walked through here yesterday, it's the biggest completely encapsulated, enclosed market, fresh produce market in Europe. I think there are bigger ones, but they're not sort of four-walled, ceilinged, doored kind of spaces. So we're going to go in and have a little look around. because I think these are the hubs of communities. You'll have Michelin-starred chefs coming in here with family folk just coming in to get their produce. Some amazing looking seafood. And you can tell how fresh they are by the gills and the eyes, and even like the fact that they're still rigid. The fact that they're still rigid shows that they're still very young, that they're very fresh. The rigor mortis is still very much in their bodies. There's just lines and lines of amazing crayfish, prawns, hake, and monkfish, bass. There's so many types of seafood, and just the quality of it all is unbelievable. So all around the outside you have fish, and then through the middle you've got butchers and greengrocers. So down the middle, butchers, some of the biggest chunks of meat, unbelievable colours. There's actually 2 floors here, so it doesn't look big, but because it's stacked, I still argue that it's maybe the biggest in Europe. Leave a comment below if you believe that stat, because I'm not convinced by it, but I found it on Google, and Google is God. So when you come up to the top floor, what makes this market amazing, considering it was only sort of built about 80, 100 years ago, the stained glass windows are phenomenal, and then the view outside is like, I mean, does anybody know another market in the world that has a view like that out of their window? I'd be hard pressed to find one. So upstairs it is very similar. Seafood around the outside, meats and vegetables through the middle, and yeah, just unbelievably fresh produce. This is something that we do not have in the UK that much anymore. It's very hard to find markets that sell this amount of produce, and like high quality produce. And the important bit, just want to say this, the important bit is this quality of produce, but at this price. So like high quality beef for like £14 a kilo. And I mean, that's hard to find, I think, in the UK now. Beef prices, you go to a high quality butcher now and you pay 30-40 quid a kilo for some cuts. They've got here €26 for a kilo of Côte de Boeuf. Like, that's unbelievable. And I had to stop at this as well. Look at all the little cakes. I'm a cake fiend, and they look delicious. And then giant pastel bascos is what we had yesterday with the custard filled. But honestly, amazing produce. And there's more down here. So I mean, it is a big market indoors, and I mean the building itself, as always, here is stunning. It looks like we have a little cookery school just in there. There's a few places not open today, but just it goes to show that like there is a trade for all of the 21 kilo for monkfish. Oh, 21 euros, that is. Sorry, I'm stood here converting it all into pounds. But just look at the amount of stuff. So that is pretty much the inside of the wet market. Now, it is an amazing market. The building, I wish I had a drone, the building from above is fantastic looking. Really good produce. It's certainly not the size of like La Boqueria. I think what it is a produce market. So I think the fact that La Boqueria sells food within the mix of that market, this is just all about produce. They have a section that does pintxos, but it's separate to the market. So I'm guessing that's where maybe the stat comes from. But yeah, I'd love to know the actual stat. And then downstairs, just here, is where we have the pintxo bar area. So I'll have a little film through here. I'm going to get myself a couple of bits to eat. But I'm still hungry. There's loads of space here as well, quiet to film, which is lovely. So I'm not going to get in anybody's way. But again, and the thing is, they're reasonably priced. So when you come to a market like this in the UK, you'll have all the pintxo lined up the bar here like this. But if you go to somewhere in the UK, the second you set foot into a market environment like this, everything becomes more expensive. But here, they're all still a couple of euros. And I do think, by the looks of it, most of them still do accept cash as well, which is kind of cool, because in the UK now it's all going cashless, it's all paper, it's all card payments, and I just think having cash in your pocket is a little easier. But yeah, we're going to go in, I'm going to get some food, find a table, and then next you'll hear from me. Hopefully I should have a plate of pintxos in front of me, and yeah, we'll see what we can get into. Okay, so a tiny bit more expensive at La Ribera market for, I don't want to say smaller portions, but the wine is big. So I went for langostina patata. It's basically shrimp wrapped in a really thin kind of noodle of potato wrapped around it. Deep fry. Very hot. You microwave that for way too long. I mean, it's tasty. You can really taste the potato, not so much the shrimp. Slightly burnt my mouth. Next up was squid in its own ink, croquettes. Now, texture-wise, they look a little spongy. It's okay. You can certainly taste the squid. But the breading is just like very soft. Kinda doesn't hold together very well. I mean, out of everything I've had in Spain this week, this is a disappointment. And the funny thing is, when I booked to come over to the Basque Country, I hadn't originally planned to go to San Sebastian. I planned to come just to Bilbao for convenience purposes. Only getting a couple of days, didn't want to have the hour and a half bus journey there and back. But in the end, I decided I'm going to San Sebastian I think it might have ruined Bilbao for me. Bilbao's a lovely city. Everyone's friendly. Everyone's accommodating. But the food, especially here at La Ribera Market, feels like it's, and it probably is, like it's mass produced for the masses. It doesn't feel homely. I say all this and I'm still just picking at my croqueta. But it feels more aimed at people that have, like in London we have the food hall markets, market halls and stuff like that they're called. And you'll find people or companies in one, you'll find them in the other. It kind of feels like that. It's more modern. It's got a little touristy aspect feel to it. There's still a lot of locals here as well, probably coming in for a little lunch after the market. But a lot of the stalls offer like chicken nuggets, chicken wings, barbecue chicken. And I'm always wary of places that do that. Like the amount of places that I've been to where they don't really cater for a Western palate. This is like they do what they do and they're very unapologetic about it. And the reality of that is they cook that with love. Nobody loves to cook a chicken nugget. You know, not even people in McDonald's. Nobody loves to cook chicken dippers. Yet somehow in this part of the market they're there. So yeah, I mean a little disappointing in that aspect. But how much of that stems from San Sebastian being as good as it was, I'm not sure. But this is the one place, this is the market that I was going to travel to, and I was going to film specifically here because of that. And unfortunately, this is the first time I think I've ever come to a destination and be wholly disappointed by the initial reason. I wanted to go to Spain to go to La Boqueria, and I wanted to go to Barcelona, I wanted to go to Valencia because of their central market. They went to Madrid with their market, and all the markets are amazing. Good produce, yes, a little bit more overpriced, yes, maybe a little bit touristy, but ultimately really good product. And just a bit meh, really. I'm going to have some dessert here, because the desserts look good, so I'm hoping they can reinstill some faith in me. But I would say if you come into Bilbao, have a look around, have a walk around, take in the sights, the sounds, the smells, the wonderful produce. If you're like in an Airbnb and you're cooking for an evening at home, buy some produce from the fresh market upstairs or out the back. Brilliant quality food, can't fault that, that's a joy to experience. Don't come to the food halls, give it a miss. If you're peckish, literally just go across the road into Old Town, get some tapas in Old Town, you'll be much, much more satisfied. I think here, I've just seen a big picture on the screen where one of the places is doing an English breakfast. Like, if you ever saw a warning sign in a foreign country of not to eat somewhere, it's a picture of a full English breakfast. So, had I seen that, I probably wouldn't have filmed it, to be honest with you. But yeah, like I say, some dessert next, hopefully that'll perk me up. And then, yeah, probably back into the Old Town for a couple more bits of tapas. Pintxos, sorry, I shouldn't call it tapas, pintxos. But yeah, anyway, that's my rabble over with. Sorry that it's downbeat, but last day saved what I thought was going to be the best to last produce market. And yeah, at least I have wine. And hopefully soon dessert. That should help. So I'm finishing up with a Carolina and a, I can't remember. Basically, one of them is a cream-filled pastry, topped with loads of powdered sugar and nuts. I think it's a similar filling to the one that I had in the Vasco yesterday. are much more filling than that. I haven't got any napkins for this either. That vanilla custard's amazing. There's so much custard in there, but it's not like crazy sweet. As for the meringue, I've got a feeling this might be custard filled as well, and end up being the Vasco with the meringue in the middle. But we will get into it. We'll see. Doesn't want to separate. Yeah. Basically like a Portuguese pastel de nata with a pile of meringue on top. The meringue is delicious. A little bit of chocolate on there as well. Right, down through the meringue enough now to get a mouthful. Well, it is like a custard tart, but with a much heavier, like a short crust kind of pastry on the outside rather than like a flaky one you get on a pastel de nata. Still delicious. But I think the other pastry is my favourite. Well, those are the two nicest things I had in the market, so that's a good way to end the video. This is literally it. I'm finished in Spain. Back to the UK later on today. These videos will be out, and I'll be back working by the time you see these. It's been an absolute pleasure again to be able to do this. It's been a while, and like I said, I'm really going to try and get back into it a lot more. I know I haven't been making that much content. The personal life has just had to take a front seat and the YouTuber back seat for now. This isn't my career. It doesn't form any kind of income. So if I have to focus on other things, unfortunately I have to. Obviously give it a like and a thumbs up. And let me know what you think. Take care guys.